Well. It's that time of the year again. And no, I'm not talking about no poop January. 4 days strong, by the way. I am talking, of course, about New Year's resolutions. Every new year, people all around the world think it's a good idea to set a goal that they will follow starting January 1st. Now, I don't see anything wrong with setting goals and challenging yourself. More power to you. This is the thing that keeps us from not killing ourselves, at least until someone you love and tell all your childhood trauma to tries to change you. Thanks, Sarah. That's my therapist. We set goals every day without even thinking too much about it. Like today, my goal was to not poop. Same for tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after. We are goal oriented creatures, and that is the reason we are so far ahead of any other living being on Earth. We started out with simple goals like trying not to get eaten by a mammoth or starve to death, to today's goals such as going to the store that is 5 minutes away from you because you have nothing to eat. Seriously, you have been living off of stale bread for 3 days. Goals are important. They are linked with higher motivation, self-esteem, self-confidence, and autonomy. And research has concluded a strong connection between goal setting and success. There is no denying that. That is not what bothers me. What bothers me is people's obsession with changing themselves every new fucking year, as if that new number on your calendar makes any difference to your resolution. Years are man made constructs, everything is made up. Fuck it, I will celebrate Nowruz, which is the Persian New Year. And it's in March. What are you going to do about it? Cancel me for cultural appropriation? Probably. New year, new me, as they all say. I know no one actually says that. What if you have a revelation in June? Or let's say you have a sudden motivation to work out early December. Want to write a daily journal in October? Do you wait until New Year's to get started? No, there are 40 fucking calendars used in the world today, all of them with a different new year. You're telling me you're waiting for a calendar to tell you when you can start being your new you. And besides that, what I found out is that this doesn't only apply for New Year's. We use this excuse for everything. I want to start going to the gym, but it's already the 12th. I'll start next month. Or I want to start writing every day starting next week. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I fall into this trap every day too. Okay, it's 12:43. I'll just watch some YouTube and start studying at 1. And 20 minutes later, it's 1:03 and instead of starting then, I am now obligated to wait until 1:30. Stop. Time doesn't matter. Start being better now. Do not wait for some social construct to motivate you. Start writing on the 4th of August. Start going to the gym midweek. Start studying at 3:43. But whatever you do not poop in January. But why has this idea of starting fresh started to dictate when we do stuff? For that, we can thank temporal boundaries. Of course, we can't actually thank them since they're just an abstract concept, but whether we like it or not, they affect our daily life choices. Temporal boundaries, also known as calendar landmarks, mark a new period of time, such as the start of a new week, month, or year. It's these temporal boundaries that give us the feeling of starting fresh, the beginning of a new chapter. Next year, I'll be better. You feel a surge of motivation and are actually excited for this new routine you have planned out. Maybe a bit overexcited because your resolution list is filled with 8 new skills, stopping 5 bad habits, which includes shooting coke up your ass and going to therapy. Now, the most unrealistic thing there is you having enough money for therapy. Everyone agrees that you should set goals that are realistic and reachable. Otherwise, you end up feeling like shit for not having achieved any of them. But setting realistic goals is easier said than done. That is because our future self is not us. We think of our future self as a different entity entirely. Have you ever had that feeling? It's the middle of the night. You know you have to get up early tomorrow, but you just can't sleep. You roll around in bed, sweating over that memory when that girl you like tried to grab the coat behind you and you thought she was leaning in for a hug. You move forward to hug her, and she says, "Ew," pushes you away, and then everyone points at you and laughs. They will probably forget that thought, but you never realize the worst part about it is that you never will. Wait, what were we talking about again? Right. goals. So, after a couple of episodes of your brain replaying trauma, your brain starts another cycle, the one of hypermotivation. You get a sudden urge to do everything right now. All those goals, all your previous failures, everything makes sense now. If only you knew then what you figured out tonight. Now all you need to do is sleep, and tomorrow we conquer the world. Unfortunately, that night motivation is more like a shroom trip, where you thought you figured out the meaning of life, only to wake up with no motivation and depersonalization, but you still keep doing it. Why? Because we forget the future us is still us. If present us is lazy and procrastinates all the time, why would our future self be so much different? It is easier to just put that pressure of keeping up with a schedule or achieving a goal on our future self rather than our present self. What we don't realize is that what we think of our future self now will be our present self at some point. And at some point, those problems you set aside for your future self will be yours. Now you have to figure out how to eat healthy, write and read every day, go to the gym 4 times a week, start a YouTube channel, learn programming, and keep up with your schoolwork all at the same time. Now you might be asking, well, how do I set healthy, reachable goals? Well, how the fuck would I know? I just like complaining about stuff. Happy New Year, everyone.